Hey guys, and we're live. That's right, we're back with yet another home arcade podcast where we chill and chat, and I put Arcade1up and Arcade AtGames in the title for search engine optimization with me. We're at one of those again. All right, hey guys, what's going on? We got a couple of people here. What's going on? People are saying hi to Fish B. Is Fish B actually here, or did Fish B take off? That's what I want to know. And what is going on? The truth comes out tonight, guys. The truth comes out that Don Chaffee is actually Zohar, right? But what you guys don't know is Zohar is actually John D. And so John D isn't hiding. He's always been hanging out with us. He's a little guy you may know called Zohar. What's up, Dominic Smith? Hey, Mason, what's going on, dude? Yeah, I was chatting with Mason earlier, and I'm like, what you doing? And he goes, literally nothing. I'm staring at the ceiling right now. He's just staring at the ceiling. So I hope you're having a happy Sunday. This guy's like, no. I am Zohar now. I am Zohar. Tad Simmons, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, everybody. So what do you guys want to do tonight? I'm open to topics. I got the tool ready if you guys want to filter for topics, but I don't even know if I need to use the tool. I'll just keep up. What's up, Ryan? How's it going? What's this? Zohar, my fake beard comes tomorrow from Amazon. My Ralph impression will be lit. For those of you who don't know, Retro Ralph has a contest right now, and you can win a brand new Xbox Series X. That's right. It's the Xbox that cost more. But have you guys seen the Modern Vintage Gamer? So Modern Vintage Gamer put out a video that talks about the DRM issues of the Xbox. Now, I wouldn't say it's necessarily an issue with the Xbox itself. It's just the technology and how they're using it. Now, I'm not the source of the information, Modern Vintage Gamer, and I'm repeating information that's based on what he said and Rich from Review Tech and a conversation I had with Ralph, and it's probably all watered down, it's probably all wrong. But it was something like the disc player that's inside the Xbox Series X, when you put a CD in it, it's basically just checking to see if you bought the game from the disc, and then it downloads it anyway. And the issue that Modern Vintage Gamer was having was there's a whole bunch of set of games that if you don't have it connected to the internet, like you can't really play it. Because it's got to check with the license server. It's got to download the game. So hopefully Xbox will fix that little edge case that they got there. I think he was saying something about there's some games that are like Xbox One games. So when they ship it, that game can go inside an Xbox One and play from disc. But if you put that in an Xbox Series X, it's going to validate that you bought it and then just download the Xbox Series X version. And again, the offline mode. Yeah, Donnie's like, I saw that video. I thought it was pretty cool. Now, that's not the reason why Ralph is getting rid of the Xbox. I mean, the Xbox Series X, he ended up buying two of them. Wait, nobody has two Xbox Series X. That's right, Ralph does, and he's going to change that. He thought he would give it away to fans. And so there was a couple people that were like doing impressions of him, and he's like, I got it. If you guys record like a 30-second video that's an impersonation of Ralph, you will enter the win, the Xbox Series X. He even said to me, it's like, whoever buys it, they're probably going to return it. Just flip it and sell it, because those things, are going for like $1,000 now, right? Something like that. That's right, Zohar. Almost every other sentence I say is just actually a Back to the Future. Back to the Future. I had your car towed all the way to your house, and all I have is this margarita K-Man Jack. Well, you're right. You're right. Biff just happens to be my supervisor, and I just afraid I'm not very good at confrontations. The car, Dad. I mean, he wrecked it. He totaled it. I needed that car tonight. Do you have any idea how important it was? Have any clue? That's right. I know, son. All I can say is, I'm sorry. Believe me, Marty, you're better off without all those aggravations and headaches and playing at that dance. That's right, Marty. The last thing you need is headaches. You could have been killed, and your insurance should pay for it. It's your car. My insurance. Okay. What's up, Zero Hero? We're going to do the whole movie? Is that what we're going to do tonight? Peter Griffin says, I want my Simpsons cabinet already. Be patient, Peter. Peter, we have like 2 weeks and they're going to officially announce it. And then Zohar with, let me read it exactly like he would read it. He's doing George McFly there. Feels like I should watch Back to the Future so I know what's happening. What? Wait, Dominic Smith, come on. Come on, Dominic. Don't play games like that. I mean, everyone has seen Back to the Future, right? Hit 1 in the chat if you've seen Back to the Future. Hit 0 if you haven't. We're gonna get some zeros and we're gonna flame all of you zeros, but that's okay. No one's gonna admit it, right? No one's gonna admit it. Yeah, that's right, Lori. Where's your peanut brittle? So have you guys seen the deleted scenes? Deleted scenes from Back to the Future, right when Marty is having a conversation with his dad George. He's like, I'm not very good at confrontations. The deleted scene is this guy comes in and he tries to sell Biff peanut I'm sorry, not Biff. He's selling George McFly peanut brittle. And they cut that scene out. And that's why, if you think of that part, he's pouring peanut brittle into a bowl. And then Marty gives him this dirty look and he shakes his head. It's because of that deleted scene. Because George buys like the whole lot of peanut brittle. And then the dad says to the son, the peanut brittle guy, he's like, see, son, I told you we only needed to go to one house. Anyway. Fishbee says, which character is he doing? Did I miss the Ralph? Let's see. Fishbee. Let's see if I can do Fishbee. How's it go? Okay, guys, we are back. And I wanted to talk about the AtGames Legends Ultimate. I think it's really good. So the one thing about the AtGames Legends Ultimate that did I get your voice down a little bit? A little bit, Fishbee? A little bit? This guy's good. Go check out his channel. I'm sure you guys know about Fishbee. I mean, he's hot. His channel is hot. You got this vocal cadence that you do, this rhythmic thing. It's kind of in the back of your throat. You got these. It's good. I like it. I've been wanting to know about Fishbee. What character are you doing when you do your voiceovers? Is that just you, or is that YouTube you? Because my friends have told me they watch my YouTube and they're like, you don't sound anything like that. You have like a YouTube voice, and then you have the real Justin voice, and evidently those are two different voices. Let's see. I bet Mason is the youngest one in the chat. Yeah, probably. Carlos says, so who else believes that Arcade1up is behind all the recent leaks? If not, what do you think it's coming from? It's not them, because they reached out to us and said, could you not talk about Simpsons? And because the license deal hadn't been done yet. And it is, I think it is now, but they were nervous. They're not behind the leaks because they wanted to stop them. I really don't think they would be doing damage control on the leaks just to fool people in that it's actually them doing it. I doubt it. It's a cool story, and it will spread like gospel. It'll spread like this is facts, right? But it's not. King, dude, is it King Kong or Kink Kong? See, here it says King Kong. There it is. It's the K at the end. Like, I'm bad at reading, so it's just like whatever. If Back to the Future 3 is my favorite movie of the trilogy, does that mean I'm a snowy idiot? I don't catch the reference. I must be the idiot. Ryan says, I was watching an interview with Crispin Glover the other day on Collider, and it was he's so bitter towards the Back to the Future series. Yeah, it really is. I looked into it, and so there's an interview. Maybe it's the same one he's talking about. There's an interview where Crispin Glover is talking about when they were filming Back to the Future, he didn't like the ending. It was just the last 5 minutes of the scene. And he said in the original script, it was much worse. He talked to them and he was like, you really can't do this. Like, it sends a really bad message. This idea that they were poor, and then you go back time and he's the hero and he saves the day. He's able to come back to the future, and in the future they're rich, right? And so I was like, what does he mean by the original script of Back to the Future was different? So I went and searched for the original script. And you guys know what was different? Maybe Zohar, do you know? Any super Back to the Future fans know what the original end scene, they had it's one word. And it was the thing that made Crispin Glover really, really upset. Do you know what it is? What did they have? What did Marty McFly come back to their house and find that they had in the original script? And it's the thing that Crispin Glover was upset about. Anyone know? That's right, Don. They had a maid. They had a maid. Crispin Glover, clearly, I don't think he's ever said this, but if you go to that interview, he says the first script, they had something I didn't really, really like. And it was, in the original script, they had a maid. So it then showed how rich they were. And he was like, you really got to take that out. But he was actually saying, like, you should really cut it back, and it should be about love. It should be about they found love. And I think he did influence the scene of them, like, we never would have fallen in love. That's right. And then George McFly, like, you know, Lorraine goes on George's lap or whatever. That whole scene. But I guess the Bobs or whatever just really hated Crispin for that conversation and everything. And so he was supposed to be in Back to the Future 2, but there was some animosity. And then so the one side says that Crispin Glover wanted as much as Marty McFly for for part 2 and part 3. But Crispin Glover's like, no, they were never going to do the deal anyway because they didn't like me. And then so as you guys probably know, Crispin Glover was not in Back to the Future 2 and 3. And then he sued them because they got a look-alike that looks so close, or he was upside down, but didn't perform to the level that Crispin Glover would have if he did that part, according to him. And so he's like, what the heck, guys, right? Like, so he ends up changing the rules or something like that. Like, you can't do that. Like, you can't make a movie and then replace the character and have the person, like, try to pretend to be exactly like the original guy or something. I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Anyway, let's see. Mike is saying Zohar is the king of Back to the Future trivia, except when I'm around. Oh, Mike is here. That's right. So wasn't the time machine a refrigerator yet? So in the original drafts, I believe, in the original drafts of Back to the Future, the time machine was a refrigerator, and they started thinking about it, and they were like, hey, that might be a little weird. A whole bunch of kids might lock themselves into a refrigerator. They don't want to be responsible for that. And then what movie did they end up making a scene in the movie that echoes back to the Future Time Machine was originally a refrigerator? Does anyone know what that movie is? Did this show just turn into trivia? It just became a little chat and chill trivia, didn't it? Ryan said, yeah, same interview. He was totally frustrated. Yeah. It kind of stinks because I've heard him also say, like, you know, he has good relationships with the other members of Back to the Future. Like, he likes the other people. But, you know, all the other actors continue to do guest appearance, you know, throughout the years. And he missed out on that, you know, and it's due to the relationship between Crispin Glover and the producers, not necessarily the other actors. But he won't, by principle, he won't show up to any of those events and never did. So that stinks. I always wanted to go back in time, you know, because when I was a kid, I remember in like 91, 92, we got the VHS for Back to the Future 2 and 3. And I looked at it, and Crispin Glover wasn't there, but I saw he was in the first one. And then I like paused it, and I looked upside down, and I was like, that guy hanging is not Crispin Glover. And then I was like, oh my God, they killed him off. Like, he's not in the movie. And then I was like, did Crispin Glover die? Is he dead? Is that why he's not in Back to the Future? But there's no Google back then, so I didn't know. So it was something that I always thought was really weird. And then, years later, hearing more and more of the story. What's going on, guys? Mike is saying he won a $5 gift card on the other show, Zohar, round 2 sometimes. Zohar's like, yes, king, but they were afraid kids were going to go in refrigerators and die. Your average gamer is here. It's your boy, your average gamer. Sup, guys? Hope everyone has a great barbecue. That's what he sounds like, I made fun of Fishby a second ago and nailed Fishby. Right, let's all admit I nailed Fishby. And then, I can't really do your average gamer's voice, but I tried. You sure know how to hydrate a pizza. That's all right, Mom. I forgot that whole thing. I missed that whole thing. Okay, JSP267 says for the Retro Ralph contest, is it a drawing for anyone that can enter? Does he pick the winner for the Xbox? I don't know. I think he's playing it by ear, to be honest. And yeah, I'm behind on the chat. I'm going to catch up just real quick. 2 minutes behind. I'll be there in just a second. So Indiana Jones 4. That's right. Indiana Jones. So the scene where the refrigerator exploded and went over, that echoes back to the original draft of Back to the Future, where there was going to be a nuclear explosion in the refrigerator, and that was going to send them back to the future. So looks like you guys are up to speed on it. Is it South Park? No. Deja Vu? No. Hydrate level 4, please. You need Zohar theme cab ASAP. Would pay $1,500. He's talking about the Daniel Pesina cabinet, right? Not a cabinet with Zohar's face on it, although I would pay $1,500 for that. I think he's talking about the Daniel Pesina. Pesina? Is it Pesina or Pesina? I don't know. I haven't watched Back to the Future in a while. Dude, you're missing out, Clax. You're missing out. So Indiana Jones, Crispin Glover is a weird dude and was certified back in the 80s. See, yeah, his Letterman appearance, yeah, he's out there. He's out there. I'm totally saying I've seen Back to the Future from now on, based solely on the info I learned here. Yeah, you got all the little bit of information, just enough to prove, just to kind of like trick people into saying that you've actually seen it. Yeah, Crispin's Letterman appearance is a classic. Crispin Glover was drugged out. Was he? Is that why? Wait, he's like, did you just do Detroit Love, Your Average Gamer? That's the thing. So if you watch Detroit Love, he's like, it's your boy. But Your Average Gamer is also your boy. So I'm confused because one of them is my boy, but I'm not sure which one is supposed to be my boy. Because they do something right. About YouTube, I had heard, like when you talk to the audience, you're supposed to talk to a person. Hey, you. Right there. Yes, I'm talking to you. You don't think I'm talking to you, but I'm actually talking to you individually. There's 81 in the chat, but I'm not talking to 81 people. I'm talking to you. Yeah, you. You're smiling right now because I'm talking to you. I am actually talking to you. So in YouTube, you're kind of supposed to talk to a singular person. This is a personal video between me and you. And so you kind of fail when you're like, hey, guys, how's it going, group? Because now you're not talking to you. It's not personal anymore, right? It's a group. But see, Detroit Love and Your Average Gamer, they got it figured out because they're like, it's your boy. I'm their boy. Like, no, wait. They're my boy. It's your boy. Yeah. He's my boy. Detroit Love is my boy. And Your Average Gamer is your boy. Makes me feel special. Anyway. Glover's a wrong YouTuber. That was Detroit Love. No, listen to Your Average Gamer. He's got a little Detroit Love in him. He's like, it's your boy. Wait, is it different? It's like, it's your boy and it's your boy? Like there's the note slightly different? I don't know. I'll have to listen closely. I mean, it's kind of like right after this. There's like 13 YouTubers in this group that like say, and we'll be right back after this. And they do 3 intros. And that's great. That's their thing, right? Like their analytics said you need 3 intros to do well. Hats off to them. I just do the no intro. because my numbers said people don't like my intros. Okay, I don't get it. Bobby View is hooking me up. I don't care what 1UP does anymore. Your average gamer is in the building. LOL. Bobby View to the rescue. 1UP is no more. And Alfred Berger. They need to make Zohar a secret character in Mortal Kombat Arcade 1UP. Make it happen. That would be really cool. Imagine. And see, Marvel 360 is in the house, and he says, has anyone considered dismantling their Arcade 1UP? Take it to Home Depot, I see where you're going, or Lowe's, and ask them if they would replicate the wood pieces. See, I didn't know where you're going, but I was thinking, I thought you were going to say this. Hey, guys, have you guys considered dismantling your Arcade 1UPs, going to Home Depot and Lowe's, and selling the wood for a profit? Right? That's what I thought you were going to say, right? That's a reference to wood's expensive, right? Videodrome 80, which his name implies videos 80. He's what's Back to the Future? Yeah. Wasn't he one of the Friday the 13th movies? What's going on? It's not polite to point. Hey, it's okay to point if it's loving. Oh my gosh, you just watched Terminal again on Amazon. Somehow Tom Hanks is always amazing. So, yes, Tom Hanks, and I'll tell you the winning scene, Tom Hanks in, what is it called? Terminal, right? My favorite scene, I love that movie. Absolutely love that movie. I remember when it came out, I was like, you know, this movie's great. Let's see if I can pull this up. The greatest scene, probably one of Tom Hanks' best scenes. Let's see if I can pull it up. Let's see how quickly I get taken down. Let's see. It is right here. This is the... Wait, where is it? Right here. When Tom Hanks looks at the screen and he sees that his country is falling apart. The look on his face. He's not Tom Hanks. He is not Tom Hanks. He is that character 100%. I'm going to remove it just for a second so they don't take me down. He's flipping out and he's running around and he's looking at the TV right here. And then when they point at him, so you know how to react, you can understand the feeling that is going through this man. He is breaking down. He is crying because the country, his homeland, is falling apart. And this, I think, we're 12 minutes into the movie. And it sets up the scene. It sets up the whole movie right there. Because now you're bought in. You're bought into this character. You're like, I feel for that man. He needs to get home. He needs to get out. He needs to continue on with his plan. And then he does, you know, spoiler alert, right? At the very end, he gets out of the terminal. And it is based on a true story. And you know, they give you that ending. That's right, I was talking to you. Okay, let me catch up with the chat here. Tom Hanks hasn't made a movie about me. He's playing everyone else. Finally, a movie I've seen. So what other great movie? King Kong said he watched Twister this morning. So I was thinking of a movie that I absolutely love today. And I was actually thinking it because of... I was thinking of it because on Twitter, if you guys don't know, you can follow me on Twitter. I rarely say anything interesting, but I love following other people so I can heart the interesting things that they say. And maybe I'll throw a GIF at you or something. And so you know, if you follow me on Twitter, I'm going to respond and look for the ... The ... mean I'm completely joking. we probably shouldn't have to do that, but I truly think it should become an international standard that if you send a message and it ends with an ellipsis, 3 dots, that should be the universal term for that was sarcasm. Just joking. Yeah, I know. Okay, so Time Cop. I downloaded Tubi, the app, and Tubi has Time Cop on it. So I'll probably give it a watch. We'll see. Yeah, so Michael B, the Game Genie, he tweeted that let's see if it'll focus. He tweeted today, come on, focus, that he fell through. Yeah, he almost died. Yeah, he fell through his deck. And immediately the thought I had, which I sent him a GIF on, which I hope he understood, was just a joke. It's coming. Let me centralize this there it is. Does anyone know this movie? Come on, you know this movie, right? This movie? Name that movie in the chat. What is it? It's not Tom Hanks, but it's a good movie. It's kind of I'm blurry. I'm coming back in. Here we go. Let's see if anyone knows. The Burbs is underrated. It is underrated. That's right. The Burbs is another great movie. Deputy Van Halen says, wow, 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 wow. And then he said, I like the Tom Hanks movie where he's the cowboy and his friend is an astronaut, also a cowgirl. Wait, talking about Apollo 13 or a different movie? Houston, we have a problem. Let's see. Army of the Dead was much more fun than I expected. They actually CGI'd Tig, the helicopter, is it Tiger or Tig, the helicopter pilot, in their post-filming, which was impressive. So that's right. Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day. That's right. So Groundhog Day, Phil, Ned, punch. That's right. Bing! Bing! There you go. Bing! Okay, so that movie is a classic, right? And when I was a kid, I remember I just watched it all the time. It was like every day I watched it. It was like on every single day. Oh, I see. He's talking about Toy Story. Toy Story 2. That's right. I like the movie where there's a cowboy and his friend's an astronaut, also a cowgirl. Very good. Toy Story. That's a good one. I didn't care for Joe versus the volcano. Clax, you can leave. You can leave now. No one says anything bad about Joe versus the volcano. I have a brain cloud. You know, the first time I saw you, I thought I'd seen you before. I'm sorry, but that's a great movie. I don't care. Joe versus the volcano. You're going to jump into the volcano. Now, what do you say? Will you do it? Okay, yeah, I'll do it. That's right. Meg Ryan was hot. Okay, what's your favorite arcade game that is a movie? Literally just 5 minutes before this, well, I'm not even going to call it a show. It doesn't deserve to be called a show. My wife and I were watching Street Fighter, and we were laughing. We were having a good time. We were all laughing. There is a Street Fighter scene. I'm sorry, but Joe versus the Volcano is an amazing movie. Street Fighter is not. Street Fighter is cast well. Like Raul Julius, is that his name? Is it Raul or Raul? Raul Julius? Great, you know. Jean-Claude Van Damme, okay, fine. Yeah, the Van Damme one. Right? So there's a scene, movie. And I don't remember this movie. I just haven't seen it forever, right? So I was watching it and we were laughing so hard. It wasn't the RiffTrax version. And I was like, I told my wife, like, wait, we're not watching the RiffTrax version? And I have to check. Maybe we don't have it. I'm not sure. We own like almost. So about RiffTrax, if you don't know about, I just donate a ton of money to them. Ton of money. Like single-handedly, I'm supporting their careers. Like, out of everything that I do, it's like, have you donated to RiffTrax recently? Boom. You need to pay them because the RiffTrax movies are the best. They're just single down. Like, look, we have Pluto TV. It's basically 24/7 RiffTrax channel. Like, seriously, my daughter, she's 12. She can quote RiffTrax. Which one is it? For some reason, I can't remember the name of it. Oh, Birdemic. I mean, there was 3 days in a row we watched Birdemic. What's RiffTrax? Okay, Mystery Science Theater 3000. Do you guys remember that? And those guys spun off and made a company called RiffTrax.com. You can go to it, or if you just get Pluto TV, you just get Pluto TV. It's a free app. It has a whole bunch of shows on it, but it's there's commercials on it. But that's how they get their revenue, is through ads. They have a RiffTrax channel. They have a Mystery Science Theater 3000 channel, and basically it's 3 comedians that are talking over the movie. And Peter Griffin, Electric Drum, says, "Justin, my bro, do you and Ralph already have pre-made plans to have John D for E3? Or has there been silence between John D and you guys?" There's been 100% silence, 100% with John D. 100%. I've messaged, let's see. I have to scroll down to May 20th. I chatted with David McIntosh. And John is... where is he? He's way down the list. Yeah. It's been a while. When is it? I don't even know if he's in the list anymore. Oh, there it is. May 19th. No. May 19th is when I messaged him, but he didn't respond. April 2nd is the last time. Yeah. What's up, Zod Rider? Zohar for the win. Yeah, John doesn't answer my message at all. He doesn't even read them. Yeah, there's no reading. I think he's same with Ralph. He was saying, I think maybe he like doesn't open Messenger anymore. Like, I don't know, like he can't or something. Hey Justin, you checked out my Twitter post responding to your current video? Have you checked out my Twitter? I don't know. I don't see any recent notifications from you. Oh, no, right now. Let's see, what are you saying? Hold on a second. Wait, what the heck? Hold on. I'm having computer issues. Sorry, man. Oh, here it is. Got it. There we go. So, oh wow, really? All right, so basically, you see, Marvel 360 was saying that one of the reasons why the movie is poor or bad or something like that. Jean-Claude Van Damme was doing a lot of cocaine during the filming of that movie, so he was like incapable of. This is according to C Marvel. That's what he was saying. He was just messaging me on Twitter. That's really interesting. I did not know that. Wait. I don't think there's a fake Zohar. See, this is the real Zohar, right? Will the real Zohar please stand up? Let's see. This is how you know he's the real or fake Zohar. If I ban him, he'll message me right away. And if it's the wrong... But see, I think... Yeah. It's the real Zohar. It's the real Zohar. We get the real Zohar. It's not the fake one. It's the real one. See, he's a member. Right there, boom. Zohar's certified. Anyway... oh wow, just checked out Pluto TV and they are doing RiffTrax of one of my favorite bad movies, Horror Express in like an hour. Yeah, man, you got to check out RiffTrax. It's really good. Justin, how is Ralph with his accident? I did talk to him a little bit. He was able to get the cabinet that didn't have an issue. You know, one broke basically, but he got the other one in his house. He sent me a picture. He sent me a picture of his garage, and so I think good. I think we're gonna talk about it on Monday, maybe. And this is Zohar sending me a message. I'm just gonna play it for everyone. So if you swear, I'm gonna be really mad at you. It won't download. Sorry, Zohar. So,
dog. It's like this. Oh, no. Oh.
Wait.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That may sound like something inappropriate, but it's actually Zohar doing the voice of Crispin Glover doing George McFly. Anyway, Justin, how do you like Superman and Lois this week? Don't know what you're talking about. Not sure what you're talking about. Is there something in the news going on? Zohar is an NFT. Ah, man. Actually, about cryptocurrency or crypto type items. I follow this guy, the Tech Lead. He's a YouTuber. I followed him when he had I think I had 30,000 subscribers. Now it's like 1 million, over 1 million. And it's weird. He got a divorce. I think because of YouTube, he made a lot of money. He was already a millionaire, and he worked at Facebook and Google. And I followed him because he had all these videos about software developing that I thought was really interesting. How to deal with, working at a big organization, big company, and scaling projects and stuff like that. Then it just kind of turned into, I think he went full time essentially. His story is he got fired from Facebook because of his YouTube channel. And so he's like, whatever. And then his wife left him. It was all weird. Anyway, he has this theory on cryptocurrency. I thought it was really interesting. I'll talk about it for 2 seconds, then we'll get back to movies. But it is one of the reasons why I cashed out of all of cryptocurrency. He says, well, you could probably ride cryptocurrency through a couple pump and dumps and stuff like that, maybe make some money. So I'm not completely discouraging it. But he had this idea that right now cryptocurrency, the idea is the transactions are all what's it called? All these miners for cryptocurrency. A lot of people are confused of what a miner means. But essentially, the way cryptocurrency, the main way money enters the cryptocurrency market are whenever there's a transaction where, let's say, Zohar wants to pay Lewis, right? So they put it out there. They broadcast that, hey, Zohar's going to pay Lewis $50, 50 coins, whatever. Well, someone has to validate that transaction and put it in the blockchain. To enter your transaction into the blockchain, someone has to find a random number. And they have to take the original block and hash that and put that in the message. And then they have to take the transaction, put that in the message. And then they have to put a random number in the message. And then when they do what's called hashing, which is basically take a big message and condense it down to a small set of numbers that's reproducible every time, that typically needs to start with 32 zeros. So it's really, really hard to do because you have to keep trying random numbers until you get one with 32 zeros at the beginning. So there's tens of thousands of people that are trying to do that. And whoever gets it first, and it happens about every 10 minutes, somebody will get it. They get rewarded with coins. And so that's how you can make money being a miner. But also you're basically a bank teller. You're basically signing the transactions. You are the bank. Everybody's the bank. Anyway, but Tech Lead was saying, no. That's not going to be the future. The future is going to be every government has their own coin, right? And it is centralized, but they use the blockchain technology so that they have access to that coin's entire life. So they could track the coin. They could actually track that Zohar gave the coin to Lewis, and then Lewis bought drugs with it, and the money from the drug dealer went to a terrorist, and they could track it and be like, oh, it's all Zohar's fault. I'm exaggerating there, but he says that exists, and I'm new to that. Like, there's even acronyms for it. I think he said there's a white paper out there for it of how to do it using blockchains, using cryptography. And I guess there's a whole bunch of governments that are like totally looking into it. And it kind of makes sense to me. It kind of makes sense that that would be valuable to a government to if that's the next thing where, you can't have forgeries. Every transaction is authenticated and signed. That if that's the way governments go, then cryptocurrency won't catch on. It would be like a secondary coin. But then I heard governments are going to try to take it down. I don't know if that's true, but he's made a couple of videos on it, and it makes sense to me. Let's see how many people I lost when I'm talking about cryptocurrency. Let's see. I thought all the transactions were anonymous in the blockchain transaction. Yeah, so that's cryptocurrency as of today. But the new form of cryptocurrency that it looks like some governments are looking into is the transactions would not be anonymous, but they would have access to see those transactions, and so that they could follow money, basically, wherever it goes. And then that would benefit them because they would know, they would have insight on the market. They'd have insight. I mean, it's tremendously powerful. Like, forget about like, oh, they're tracking you. Forget that. They can have a pulse on the entire economy, good or bad. I'm neutral when it comes to that. I'm just talking about the technology. Like, imagine like before a quarterly earnings report comes out, if everyone's using the USD coin, the government would already know who paid who and could have algorithms and data. So think about like when you go to a website, a lot of people are like, oh, they're tracking me. And it is kind of true, but how it works is there's two big companies, Google and Facebook, and they benefit, like ad revenue. Like if there's ads on websites, there's different things. People that own websites will have an incentive to include what's called Google Pixels or a Facebook integration. Maybe single sign-on is a reason why you'd want to use Google's integration, or maybe you want to track marketing, and since you're paying Google to run ads, you want to pay them for or get access to what's called remarketing data. And so it's this idea that if you go to a website and Google for something, you'll think about it. It's like, why is it I Google for something, then I go to some random website, it starts showing me ads on that thing? Is it because Google is tracking me? Well, yes, but it's because all those websites out there actually have like affiliate pixels, and they're all connected. There's a library basically by Google and Facebook that's on almost every website nowadays. And so it's the one showing you the ad. And so that website is getting paid to show you the ad, which is based on information that you searched for on Facebook or searched for on Google. It's all kind of being collected and centralized. But every web developer that does it, maybe they don't know exactly what they're doing, but they're all opting in. They're all going and doing the Facebook integration and doing the Google integration so that they get kickback or revenue or ads or again, access to analytic data. And because Google will share the analytic data with you. But by you doing that, all of a sudden, just millions of websites have all this tracking information being sent to Google. So they're not really doing... what I'm trying to say is, it's not like Google has hacked the internet. It's not like Facebook is like, hacking people's computers or something to get access to the data. They just made a huge campaign over the last 10, 15 years to incentivize websites to include their libraries that do that tracking. And everyone opts in. So anyway, think about that. But think about that type of level of tracking, but on every transaction. That's what this new form of cryptocurrency, I can't remember what it's called, but it's this centralized crypto block where every transaction is in the blockchain. And I believe the idea is we wouldn't have access to the data, but the root certifier would, which would be the government. Like, Canada would have their own, and China would have their own, and the US government would have their own, and each coin would be, it's just like the dollar, except for it'd be digital. And the upside, the way they would sell people on it, is that this would be super secure, right? And it probably would be. Like, basically scammers would be gone. There'd be like no more scammers. That'll be the incentive. And the reason why is because they could identify all the scammers' account that are scamming people and just shut them down and just be like, they can't do transactions anymore. It'd be a cat and mouse, but they've done this before. In the past, governments have done that. They've been able to shut down spammers. Anyway, let's talk about something more interesting, though. See, boom, UFOs are coming. Everyone's talking about UFOs now. Let's talk about UFOs. Do you believe in them? UFOs, I do believe that UFOs exist. I do believe that when people look up in the sky, they'll see objects and they're unable to identify what those are. They're unidentified flying objects. And eventually they'll identify them, and then they'll no longer be UFOs. So I believe there's never, in the end, there's only UFOs when you don't know what they are. And then when you find out what they are, they're not UFOs anymore. That's right? Because they're now identified flying objects, right? No matter what it is, no matter what the outcome is, they will always be identified. Let's see. Press 1 in the chat if you are Zohar. Boom. Don's like, I believe. Do a poll. Have you seen? Mike, do you have Star Wars on it? What? For real? No. I have Space Alien Spacecraft. Justin, use your tool. Oh, you really want me to do a poll on... Oh, gosh. Fine. Fine, I'll do this. Okay, hold on real quick. You guys ready for this? Start after. We have to hit 1 if you believe that this planet has had visitors from other planets that are higher intelligent than us, and they are trying not to be found by any of our radars or scanners, but every now and then they are able to, they're able to, they get caught. And this is kind of cool. The poll went down. Then I'll have to pull it back up. Wow, 69% of you, 61. Okay, here we go. All right, Zohar says, dude, with all the iPhones, Androids, all the technology we have, why do we only have 320 by 240 resolution videos? They're out there, just too far away. Yeah, I heard, I think it was Neil deGrasse Tyson said the same thing. He's like, there's so many phones, high quality HDR, 4K phones throughout everywhere, and yet it's all low quality. Wow, it's coming to about 50-50. Look at that. All right. And then we lost 12 people in the process because like, oh, go, Justin's going down UFOs. I'm out. All right. So let's, why would they come here? There you go. Doing great. How was your day, Alfred? Joe Rogan. Yeah. I think it was, right? Joe Rogan and Neil deGrasse. Yeah. So we just found out that Zod is actually... he's actually Elon Musk. There you go. You heard it here first. Okay, so we were talking about movies, right? So what are the movies? What is your favorite time travel movie, guys? Let's put a filter in the chat. I'm gonna look for the word time. And we're going to go past let's see. Reset this. So put the word time in the chat and then describe what's your favorite time travel movie. Time travel movie would be, Back to the Future. Is it Back to the Future? We got Groundhog Day. We got Bill and Ted's. We got Back to the Future, Avengers Endgame. That's right. That was a great Back to the Future movie. No. That was a great time travel movie. Somewhere in Time. I can't watch Somewhere in Time. Time After Time is another good one. So I think it's let me pull this up because Somewhere in Time. That's is that the one with yes, Somewhere in Time. I cry to that. I'll admit it. Have you guys seen this one, Somewhere in Time? It's so good. So good. But Christopher Reeves, time travel movie. The time travel mechanic that they use is very, very good. And yeah, my wife and I don't watch that. We own it and we watch it. We probably should watch it again. But we watched it when we were like in our 20s. I think that was the first time. Maybe I saw it when I was a kid. Well, in my early 20s, I watched it with my wife and we were both crying. Because it's good. Yeah. Christopher Reeves. Yep. Jane Seymour. It's very good. Very touching. Forever Young. Let's see. Palm Springs. Yeah. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Austin Powers 2, a comedy. Time, not Tenet, Time Cop, and Back to the Future 2. We got Terminator, First Contact. You know, First Contact was a movie that I didn't see until like 5 years ago or something like that. Endgame, Time After Time. Time After Time is another good one too. Time After Time. Time After Time, 1970. Is that the... Oh, yes. Yes, Time After Time is good. Yes. Jack, is that the Jack the Ripper one? Yeah, Jack the Ripper. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Palm Springs new on Hulu, loved it. Final Countdown, Time Cop, Forever Young, Bill and Ted's. Encino Man, there you go. The Philadelphia Experience. Let's see. Flight of the Navigator, that's a time travel movie. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that one's good. Yeah, Somewhere in Time's a great movie. Hot Tub Time Machine. Oh, Hypnosis. I don't know if I've seen that one. 12 Monkeys, okay. Let's see. Wait, I used to play hockey with Christopher Reeve's son? What? King Kong? No, you didn't. You did not. You did not play hockey with Superman's son, dude. He's lying. I want proof. Message me proof. Played hockey with Christopher Reeve's son. Pull our leg like that, King Kong. Peggy Sue got married. Who that was like someone's first movie, right? Was that someone's first movie? Who is in that movie that it was his first movie? Like, does anyone know that one? Peggy Sue got married, cast, right? 1986. Who was in that movie? Who was the most popular person today that's an actor that was in... It was Nick Cage? You guys are going out with Nick Cage? Nick Cage was in the movie. But I'm thinking of someone cooler than Nick Cage. Everyone's going to be like, there's no one cooler than Nick Cage. And Zohar, funding the channel single-handedly, says time travel movies are very popular, and there are many of them because subconsciously we regret our lives and want to redo everything. Like buying Arcade1ups, and I could not agree with you more, except for the one-up part. But yes, totally. I believe that is the center of the appeal. He said, I met Christopher Reeves more than 30 times. You are lying. King Kong, you did not meet Christopher Reeves. Stop coming on this show and spreading fake news. Okay, really, I'm just excited because I'm actually thinking that he's telling the truth. But I want pictures. If you met him over 30 times, there's a little picture of little King Kong with your arm around Superman. I want to see it. Land of the Lost. There we go. How about Butterfly Effect? Yeah. Deja Vu is great too. Predestination. Frequency. There we go. Another great movie. There are a lot. Yes. Star Trek 5. No, I don't think that counts. Maybe. Wait, oh, that's 4. Sorry. I can't read Roman numeral 4. Yeah, that's a great movie. Star Trek 5 is not. Yes, And Star Trek 4 is a great time travel movie. They go around the sun, they whip around it, and they go back to the 80s. It's so great. Let's see. So they filmed that movie, right? Where did they film that? Did they? I can't remember. In California? I want to say I've been where they filmed at. They Live. So They Live was a movie when I had this job like 15 years ago. It was in our lab constantly. So we had like a cable company laboratory where it only had like 50 channels. It was kind of weird. Like there was a part of the lab that was 7 days in the future. So if you sat at that desk, all the TVs there were 7 days in the future. And you had to be careful because like if you connected devices to that network, there were certain devices that we had where the clock only went forward. They were security devices. So if you plugged it into that machine and then plugged it into other machines, like you're hosed for 7 days. So the actor that I was looking for that was in Peggy Sue Got Married was Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey was in Peggy Sue Got Married. But yeah, Nick Cage. That's a good one. Let's see what else we got. Justin, you have no idea how great Time Cop is. You will thank me. Let's see. Star Trek 4 was filmed in California in Sarah Silverman's first movie. Really? Sarah Silverman is in Star Trek 4? Really? I don't remember that. The opposite of Christopher Reeves is Christopher Walken. What? What? Okay, what's up, JJ? He says, switching gears, did you watch Indy 500? 4-time winner. Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. I wish I did, and I could share in your joy, but I'm not. Jim Carrey is not better than Cage. So, I used to work with this guy. Huge Nick Cage fan. Like, I first meet him, he walks up, and he's like, hey, you like Nicolas Cage? And I'm like, I guess he's all right. I really liked him in that movie, Family Man. Family Man's really good. And he was in, like, National Treasure. That was great. And Raising Arizona back in the day? Yeah, Nick Cage is great. He's like, oh, Nick Cage is my favorite. And then immediately he starts naming 10 movies that are his favorite movies that I've never seen, never heard of, that are like, I guess everyone's like, yeah, he's Nick Cage fan, like deep cuts. So he did graphic design. And so he was making all of these. We were building a TV UI. And so we wanted to build in, I can't remember what it's called, but the idea is when you first load the page, we don't have the movie thumbnail yet. So we put a filler thumbnail in. And as you scroll down, like you might see these filler thumbnails for a second while it's fetching the other thumbnails, the real ones. And if there's ever, we call it the fallback thumbnail. So like if for some reason the thumbnail server doesn't have the pictures there, you'll at least see something. All of it was Nick Cage, but then blurred. Like, so it looked like just wavy colors, but it was like, he'd show me, he's like, come check this out, right? He's like, you see this image? Does it look good? I'm like, yeah. And then he undoes the blur, and you can see it's Nick Cage's hairy chest. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, yeah, all the thumbnail fallback pictures that I'm providing to develop to the devs, it's all Nick Cage. But no one will ever know. It was hilarious. He loved Nicolas Cage, that's for sure. Let's see. Now we're all into Nicolas Cage. He goes, let's see. Let me go up. Face Off is the best movie ever. Ever since Nick Cage had to give back his dinosaur bones, he lost a little fire. Haha. Nick Cage owns the first issue of Action Comics. Does he really? Nick Cage has an amazing comic collection. Sarah Silverman was in Star Trek Voyager, not Star Trek 4, Lewis says. And Rainwater is in the house. He says, Nicolas Cage is literally the most overrated actor ever. He is a horrible actor. Okay. Let's see if he's right. Okay. I'm going to pull up something. I'm going to pull up something here, and we'll figure it out. And then we'll watch a little bit, okay? We're going to try this out. It's all about Nick Cage now for a second. And we are going to, let's see. Okay, hold on a second. We are going to, we will do a quick Nick Cage look, and then we're going to run a poll on whether or not Nick Cage is amazing or not amazing, all right? So coming up in just a moment, first we have to do some digest. We have to consume. We have to be entertained by Nick Cage. And let's see. So I am... hold on a second. Nicolas Cage. It's just losing his mind. Oh, this is inappropriate. I can't show any of this. Yeah. Yeah, this is... Okay, let's just scroll through. The fact that the actor here, Nick Cage scenes, and we're just dealing with, like, him being a little crazy here, right? Is crazy the right word? Now, maybe this is super entertaining, right? Be like, he's so next level that it's actually entertaining. So what do you guys think? Nick Cage, yes or no? Give me 1 second, and we are going to run another poll. Reset that. Give me 10 seconds. And here we are. And we already got Rainwater with a 0. He's came in already. And I need to reshare my screen here. Hold on a second. All right. 100%. No, he's not good. Give us some ones if you love some Nick Cage. And we will we'll see that Cage fight. Yeah, Snake Eyes is great too. Nick Cage might be a better actor than Pauly Shore. Yeah. Nick Cage is in Face Off is awesome. Silverman wouldn't have been 15 when they filmed Star Trek 4. It's the Voyager episodes, also set in San Francisco, that she was in. Lori with the comeback. Like, look, she was in both. Justin, you gotta watch the video as soon as it ends. The stream, you are going to crack up. Okay. Eccentric. He's a hit and miss. Snake Eyes is a legit movie. Okay. You guys ready? Wow. Look at that. 17 people. And Rainwater, you're the only one. Rainwater, you're the only one that threw a 0 in there. Okay, guys. We need to get a couple more. Help out. Remember, the key is you only put... Oh, City of Angels, that was pretty good. You can only put... The only character my poll will currently count is if you type in the letter 0 or the character 0 or 1. That has to be the only thing you type in. Just like Zod Hero here. He only typed in a 0. If your message is exactly 0 or 1, then you're in the poll. Otherwise, the tool's thinking you're talking to somebody else. So here it is, right? I guess everybody loves him. That's right. We went with yes, they love him. We see a lot of ones. All right. Nick Cage is great. It's official. Everyone, Rainwater, once again, is wrong. He's always wrong. And yet again, we proved tonight he's wrong. There we go. Nick Cage, we all love him. And now, I did that on purpose to see if anyone would get so upset with me calling Rainwater being wrong that someone else would go and type another 0. But no, instead we're just getting more ones. Proving my point. Rainwater was wrong. Nick Cage was epic in Mandy. Raised in Arizona and leaving Las Vegas. Great Cage. Anyone else? Everything else? Meh. I was on a TV show based on National Treasure. Shut up, Scott Gray. That is no way. So first we have King Kong saying that he's buddies with Christopher Reeve's son, and he met Christopher Reeves. And now Scott Gray say he was on a TV show that was based on National Treasure. Do not believe it. Do not believe it. Man, look at, he says, Google my name and treasure hunter winner. Actually, Scott, I remember you saying this before. This is coming back. So Scott Gray, treasure hunter winner. Watch me. That's right. I do remember this. Scott. You're right. This is Scott, and he's all like, oh, the video's private, dude. You took it down. Someone took it down. Let's see. It's, anyway. So everyone asked Scott Gray for some money because he won $100,000 on NBC's Treasure Hunters. So, he's got tons of money, and hit him up on Twitter. He'll give you a loan. Just teasing, Scott. Just teasing. Yeah, the link changed. So, so there's his connection. Does anyone else have a connection to Nick Cage? My connection was, I know this guy that I used to work for that was such a big Nick Cage fan that he put in, he literally said, I'm hoping that our company becomes so popular that there's subliminal Nick Cage references inside the app. Because what's crazy, I will tell you this right now, what's crazy is after I kind of knew the pictures had Nick Cage blurry, you could tell. And then I started wondering, could some people subconsciously tell that these pictures that you would see? So you'd go into the app and you'd go to like categories, be like, do you want to watch comedies or whatever? And the word comedy was over kind of a blurry image, kind of looks like curtains. It wasn't a curtain. It was Nick Cage's chest. Like his chest and like his shirt, kind of had a separation, kind of looked like curtains. No, Nick Cage's chest. So that's my connection. What's your, there we go. 6 degrees of Nick Cage. Sorry, can you buy my full-size MK cab, Scott? Zohar needs money. Zohar needs money for super chats. Yeah, so Scott, you gotta help out Zohar, right? Check out Nick Cage in the movie Willy's Wonderland. Scott's like, that was years ago. I totally don't get the royalties still. No, I cashed out. I hung out with Eric Roberts before. Is that 6 degrees of separation? I feel like they probably did drugs together at some point. There you go. 6 degrees of Nick Cage separation. Hollywood Polo's like, hey, Scott, can you buy me an AtGames Legends Spinball, please? Please? Price alert just alerted that Micro Center has Arcade1up Mini Pong Juniors on sale for $129.99. This is the first time ever I've seen this unit under $149 anywhere. That's right, Mike. Do they ship it or is that a pickup only? Cage will go in any movie that pays him well. There you go. I was in New York City the day Nicolas Cage bought a $300,000 comic from Midtown coming in Manhattan, and then he was broke and had to make like 10 terrible movies to make up for it. Let's see. Justin's met famous people too. Let's see. So I was an installer in LA, and I met some famous people. I went to some people's house. Whenever I went to Chatsworth, there was a lot of people's homes that were adult movie stars. I didn't recognize them, but it was clear they were. Let's see what else. Met Cheech, ran into him. We'd see people from CSI in Valencia all the time. Johnny Rockets was a place you could go in Valencia, and basically the cast of CSI was like basically there. This was, back in early 2000. One of the coworkers I worked with went to one of Elton John's house. Another coworker went to Fabio's house. The story of that was Fabio wanted to help him install a satellite dish, and he swears that he was on top of a flat roof of Fabio's house, realigning his satellite dish. Fabio came up the ladder, and he looked up, sees Fabio, no joke, with his shirt button undone. Santa Ana winds came and blew his hair back, and he was like, oh my God, Fabio. He's got hair blowing in the wind. Let's see. My boss at Dish was a stunt double, an ex-stunt double who did stunt doubles for Granny. He was a driver for Moonwalker. So he met like Michael Jackson. He probably met Nick Cage, maybe. But I haven't met many people. I don't think that Cage could pull off Superman. Yeah, well, that'll be interesting. Wasn't he in Gone in 60 Seconds? You can win in AtGames Legends playing Bone Busters pinball on your ALP. You can win an ALU. I'm sorry. See, Jeff should make a joke video of a Blitz cab since the joke video for the Baby Cave came true. There you go. It's still overpriced. Oh, that's funny. Here we go. Deputy Van Halen. He said he met Huey Lewis when he was 8 years old backstage at a concert. We ate lunch, and he lifted me up to sign a banner. Awesome guy. That's really cool. Very cool. Yeah, I think it's for pickup only on the Micro Center thing. Yeah, I didn't recognize them for sure. So my best celebrity story is that Tony Hawk wanted to take a selfie with me. That's cool, man. So Zohar said he used to be Is this true, man? He used to be a paparazzi from 2008 to 2011 to pay for school, so I win. Really, Zohar? Really? Did you really? Who did you run into? You gotta just give us a list if that's true. I mean, obviously there's paparazzi in LA. I recently saw a paparazzi, interaction between, what's that guy's name? The rapper? I can't remember his name for some reason. But the guy's all like, I'm sorry, I'm having a suffering from a brain problem where it's called a brain cloud. I have a brain cloud where I can't remember things. It's the singer that said, who told Taylor Swift, like that Beyonce should have got the award. That guy. Anyway, I saw an interaction with him recently. It's probably old, but he looked at paparazzi. He's like, never speak to me again. Never talk to me. And you tell all of your friends, don't you ever say anything to me. Don't ask me anything. Don't say anything. You can take pictures all you want. Do not talk to me or any of my people. I was like, whoa. And then the guy walks off, and then the paparazzi guy starts saying his name. He's like going into an airport and he turns around. He's like so mad. And I think what it is he's wearing like a hoodie. He doesn't want to be recognized. And by paparazzi like saying his name, right? Everyone's, yeah, that's right, Kanye. So Kanye West, right? Kanye West has a very unique name. So there's paparazzi, and there's this guy like in a hood covering his face, and he's like, hey Kanye. I mean, everyone's gonna know exactly who that person is now, right? I'd pay $1,000 to fight Kanye. Yeah, see, Marvel's like, yeah, I remember that. That was on TMZ. Wait. Jeff. You're talking about Jeff Rainwater? Justin told us the secret. What's the secret? My celebrity story is Johnson Console Kits came on my YouTube channel once for like 3 minutes. So yeah, I'm basically a big deal now. Nice, Rainwater. That's pretty funny. Zod's like, dude, I used to work with Kanye West. See, we had no clue. We had no clue. Everyone here is famous. Like everyone here, it's not 6 degrees away from Kevin Bacon or 6 degrees from Nicolas Cage. It's 1 degree away from Kanye West. It just took us an hour to get here. So everyone here is a Kanye West fan. And they've either been employed or worked with him or knew his cousin's nephew, former roommate, right? Like it's all connected. Because, yeah, I have thousands of pictures. I worked nights in Malibu, Calabasas, Beverly Hills. School was expensive. I made a lot of money. And this makes sense, Zohar. Like, this makes sense. Zohar used to be paparazzi, and that's why he has so much experience, like, trolling people. It's so good. It all comes together, Zohar. Like, that's where you got all of your expertise. That's so cool, man. It's so cool. Man, why didn't you tell that story? When we had you on the One Up Weekly members only show, why didn't you tell the story about where you've learned all of those lessons? That could have been great. It could have been great. Could have been great. So John Chaffee's like, look, I ran Kanye's campaign. So Zod writer didn't even realize it. That Zod and so Zod and Don used to work together. But they didn't even know. They didn't even know they worked together. They both used to work for Kanye West. And then Zohar used to be a paparazzi. They used to take pictures with Kanye West. It's all coming together. And Rainwater Games is like, I got you beat. Kanye West is in the room with me, watching this with me right now. Dude, you guys are awesome. This is so cool. It's like we're this little family of liars. We're a family of liars, and Zohar's pretending he's paparazzi, even though he's not. Don is pretending that he used to be on Kanye's campaign. I mean, the only person here that's telling the truth is King Conk. King Conk said he sat behind Kanye on an airplane once, and I told him not to put his seat back, and he was so short, he was like a little boy. And then King Kong whispered into Kanye's ear, and he said, hey, Kanye, I know you're trying to sleep. I used to play hockey with Christopher Reeve's son. And Kanye's like, don't talk to me, don't look at me, don't do anything ever again, and whatever you do, do not ever tell me the Christopher Reeve story again. There you go. There you go. It's all connected. It's all connected. See? And BA comes in here and goes like, what are you guys talking about? Like, who cares? Who cares about any of this? And that's when I look at B space A and say, I know, right? Who does care? Nobody cares. But one thing's for sure is we all know that Kanye will buy all of the baby-cades. All of the baby-cades. Kanye has already invested at least $1 million into the baby-cades. Because, that's right, B space A, he's the one that kicked it all off. Do you know why? Because Kanye cares. I mean, Kanye is going to wear a baby-cade on his chin around his neck. That's right. And finally, we're getting some arcade talk. This is great. But see, Zod Rider is saying Kanye and I used to work together at customer service agents with Chimlon before he got famous. He was saving up his money for the studio time. Thank you so much for the super chat, Zod Rider. But then Stringer Films comes in and says, well, my neighbors has 4 rabbits. 4. And he's got all his kids, north, west, southwest, south by southwest. He's got all those kids. But see, Zohar comes in and says, look, I was on Mulholland Drive with Brittany was taken away in the ambulance. We were all there. All pops showed up. Dude, I think that's accurate because if you look up, remember Zohar said Zohar said that he was a paparazzi between 2008 and 2011. But then Britney Spears got in an accident. But when did that accident happen? Is it going to line up? Is it going to line up? I don't know. It's a car accident, right? And Ralph got in a car accident. And then I don't know if you guys know, like there's this guy, he makes really cool Game Boy mods. He got into a car accident. Rourke. Yeah, Rourke, man. Rourke's good dude. Good dude. Like, I met this guy Rourke. He's like a console modder, but he does like all these Game Boys. It's kind of a small little company, but he's basically full-time doing Game Boy modifications. Pleases a lot of his customers, and we got to hang out at what's called the RetroCreate, which was hosted by Robert Neal, or Bob, RetroRGB Bob. And real quick story, I was on his stream tonight with Bob. You know, I was just in the chat, and they were telling this story about how, real quick, I'll tell the story because I think it's really interesting. So he's okay. Dude, this guy has great spirits. Like, he broke so many bones in his body because of this car accident he had. This guy, Rourke, again, friend of the community. He contributes so much to retro gaming. That's why it's worthy to tell the story real quick. If you want to hear the whole story of it, check out RetroRGB, who is another YouTuber that did a live stream today. And it's a live stream interview where Rourke is in the hospital. 6 weeks ago, he got into a front end collision, broke so many bones in his body. But everything that kind of broke are things that he can recover from, you know? So he's doing okay. And I loved his attitude. He said, basically, when you get in a situation like this, you only have basically two things you can control. And it's your attitude and what you're going to do to rehabilitate yourself. And so he's like, why would I want to be miserable? So I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to compartmentalize all of the pain and the misery over there and just be positive. Dude, he was the light of the party when we were at RetroCreate. Like, everyone was having a good time, drinking a little bit, and at RetroCreate, he was just like telling stories, and he was the center of attention. He was hilarious. Hilarious. And here he is, miserable time, goes on live with Bob, and just tells, you know, this great story about how he has positivity. But anyway, the quick story was when he was 13, he put a tattoo on one of his legs. His mom hated it. And it was a tattoo that he did himself, right? And he thought it would fade away over time, but it didn't. So then he got in this car accident 6 weeks ago, and it broke a lot of bones, and a lot of bad things happened, right? But part of his leg got cut out. Like a chunk of it's just like gone, right, by his calf. And so they're working on it. A lot of it's growing back, so that's good. But they needed to do, like, I think it's called a skin graft or a skin transplant or something like that. So they tell Rourke, they tell him, hey, a good spot for us to take some of your skin is right where you have a tattoo on your, like, I think it's his other leg, his other, like, thigh, right? And he's like, yeah, doctors, whatever. Like, you guys know best, right? So his mom is all like, this is great. Finally, the tattoo will be gone, right? I guess the tattoo's a dragon. So he does the surgery, and then a couple days go by, and they go to unbandage him, right, and put a new bandage on. And now he has two tattoos because somewhere how the operation works. I don't know how it works, but they only took part of the skin, but like it's like layers of the skin, and they transplant it to the other side. And the ink was so deep, like now there's two dragon tattoos, one on each side. And it's okay to laugh about it because he laughed about it, and he wants everyone to, you know, be positive. So I thought that was a really interesting story. And so Zohar now says he wants to prove that he was a paparazzi. And let's see. And wait a second. What is it? Okay, so first of all, Stringer Films says I got wasted with CeeLo at his, is it, I don't know who this is. CeeLo at his Bay party. That's cool, Stringer. And I sent proof, kind of, read Messenger. Okay, hold on a second. So I looked at Messenger. I'm in the basketball shorts on the right. Okay, guys, you ready for this? Zohar look at this. Dave Chappelle kicks it with paparazzi. Supposedly, this video, which is 2009, which lines up because Zohar says he was paparazzi. He was paparazzi between 2008 and 2011. And here we go. Okay. So let's see if we can find. Man, it's loud. First 4 seconds. So you're saying this is... Oh, hold on a second. I'm not sharing. So you're saying this is you, Zohar? Is this you, Zohar, right here with this camera? With the shorts? Is this Zohar? Zohar hanging out with Dave Chappelle. Yes, he says that's him. Wow. Look, Zohar, you're on YouTube with almost 500,000 views. That's great. He finally did it. See, Zohar was a famous YouTuber and we didn't even know. He said what his dream was, and he already achieved his goals. That's great. I'm gonna hit this and put it in my like file. That's good. But Stringer Film says, because COVID, I hung out with Barkley every Thursday. Okay, so Stringer Films, he says, what the heck? Seriously? Okay, this is Stringer saying he's buddies with Charles Barkley. That's Stringer. That's Charles Barkley. Dude, and you're in Atlanta, so wait, everyone fact check this. Is Charles Barkley from Atlanta? Is this what's going on? So let's see. And then here's more proof that this is the C guy, whatever, is that his name? Stringer, yes. CeeLo Green Fool. Is that what you're talking about? OMG, amazing Zohar is famous. So we got Stringer and we got Zohar that's famous. That's cool. That's really cool. Wow, look at this bunch. Who would have known? We come on the live stream and find out everyone is super famous. Or they know famous people. See? Zohar is rich. He must own 2 TVs. There you go. So Stringer Film says he lives in Phoenix, but has a condo, of course he does, in Midtown Atlanta. Oh, wait. What's this? Now Zohar's got another message. Zohar is like, look, you guys don't believe me? Look, King Kong says, I was on a plane once with Charles Barkley. He sat in first class, and I sat in coach with the peasants. And when I saw Charles Barkley, I told him to shut up and jam. Okay. Let's see. Let's go. Zohar says, here's another one between 4:08 and 4:15. See, he's got one more. No one can compete with Zohar. That's what's going on, right? So let me pull this up. So we got 4 minutes. About the 4-minute mark, we're gonna see Zohar in this. Dude, this is clean. This is much. See, remember earlier? Let me show you how guys work, right? Earlier in this video, if you weren't here, people were talking about like even Zohar, hold on. Even Zohar was saying, I don't believe in UFOs. That's what Zohar was saying. Zohar's like, I don't believe in UFOs. And then we did a poll and it was like 50-50. But this is basically a UFO video right here. And Zohar wants us to believe that this person on the right here is Zohar. But technically you're giving us the same evidence of trying to prove that Bigfoot exists. So right here, can we really believe that that's Zohar? And so let's take a look at this one. And this one's like a little higher quality. And he's saying Zohar should be here. Oh, that's Zohar right there, isn't it? Is that you right there? Is that Zohar? I know that's Zohar. Look at his hair. You can tell that's his hair. See, there you go. Rainwater figured it out. So Zohar is actually Bigfoot, but see, Marvel's like, no. Zohar is an alien. And Zohar's not the alien. It's Mason that's the alien, because Zohar always calls. See? He's like, yep, see? In my ugly glory. See, Zohar, you're so down on yourself, right? You always, like, call yourself an ugly dude. I don't know why. Like, look at his face, everybody. Like, Zohar's a good-looking dude. Like, you need to have more self-confidence, right? And Zohar's like, no, watch. He's about to say, no, I'm fat. Dude, I'm fat. Look at my chin here. See this? Ralph is always like, look at my skin. I can stretch it. Yeah, I can stretch it because I gained weight. I'm not skinny anymore. No one cares, man. See, no one cares. No one cares, Zohar. Everyone loves you, Zohar. There's like a future wife that you have out there that totally loves you and adore you. You just haven't met her yet. Be good to yourself, Zohar. Come on. There you are. Look at the Zohar. He's like, oh, I got to take pictures. It's Kim Kardashian. He's meeting Kim Kardashian. He's like, look, let me take her picture. Zohar's got like the front seat to Kim Kardashian. Look, he's like giving her look, I know what type of picture Zohar's trying to take. Look at that. Zohar knows all about cameras, doesn't he? He's like, let me get in there. See, he's wearing basketball shorts again because he's doing paparazzi. Then he's going to go, he's just doing it because he had to go through college, right? He had to get through college. That's what it's all about. What? Matt Stringer Films with the, okay, I got you all beat. So Zohar was paparazzi, or is it paparazzi, or what is it? It's pap. I don't know what it's called. And then we got Stringer Films sending you pics of my past bodyguards. Look at that. Stringer with, yeah. Okay, fine. Stringer wins. Dude, everybody loves The Rock. Everybody. You can't hate The Rock. You can't hate The Rock. Oh, God. No way. Freaking Stringer Films. Hulk Hogan? Come on. See, that's The Rock's $1,000 shirt. See, this is what it's like. You're the film guy, you're the camera guy. You're like, what? So here's Stringer Films when he was 22 years old, and he was all like, hey, do you hear Hulk Hogan's coming to town? We got to do a piece with him. He's the camera guy. And so he's right there. He's like, let me frame you in the shot. Let me get you in the shot. He's like, okay, we do the shot. He's like, hey, can I get a picture with you? He's like, sure. He hands his coworker a flip phone. He's like, hey, take a picture of me with Hulk Hogan with the... Yeah, see, here's what I want to know. Is the Hulk... Yeah, that's right. Oh my God, Stringer's a legend. I want to know, is the Hulk that big or is Matt that small? Which one is it? Is it Matt that's small or is it both? Is Matt just a widow guy? He's just a widow guy. That's right. I think Stringer won tonight. Stringer wins. Release the Zohar Kim Kardashian tape from Zod Rider. That's funny. Is this not the weirdest dream ever? That was my plan, dude. Thank you so much. We're not over yet, but I do want to appreciate everyone hanging out with me tonight. This has been a lot of fun. I'll tell you why. So I had planned 3 videos tonight that I was going to do. And I had them, it's kind of funny. Lately, I look back at some of the content that I make. Some of the content is more structured and more prepped. And then some of the content is not very prepped. And then the content that does well is the freeform content where I just have like an idea and I just go live. But I found myself structuring the 3-episode Sunday night stream too much. It was like all I was thinking about for the last 2 days. And like had it mapped out, like almost had a script. Like I wrote down a rehearsed. It wasn't really a script, but I was like, sometimes I'll write down my thoughts and then I won't read the script, but it's like I wrote it down, so I'm just remembering it, and it helps as a memory aid. And I was just not feeling it. Like, it was good content. I think it was going to be about Arcade1up, AtGames, and Arcade. I had different topics about it. And then I just got tired today. I got tired. And I was like, I don't want to do a stream that's all structured. I was like, I'm going to make a silliest thumbnail I possibly can. That way, the only people that will click on it are like super console kit fans. Because it's like, it's dumb. Like, there's three. Like, I sat there, how do I make it dumber? How do I make it dumber? And I was aiming for trying to get about 80 to 100 people to show up to that stream. It was very targeted, trying to be very clear, not clickbait. Clickbait in my mind is making a thumbnail that's saying, I'm going to deliver you this, but you don't deliver that. The opposite of clickbait is making a thumbnail that tells you exactly what to expect when you click on that thumbnail. And then I reward you and give you what you expect. That's the opposite of it. That's what I try to do. Sometimes my thumbnails for my channel or One Up Weekly will be marketing, but it's still, I'm going to deliver on what the picture says. And tonight, I wanted to help, get your help delivering. My goal was to have fun and be silly. And this isn't my show. This is your show, man. This was great. This was a lot of fun. I really did have a good time. Oh my gosh. So Stringer says, is it this? He says, look at the hand compared to my hand. Yeah. Hulk's a tall guy. But see, Marvel's like, dude, I got you all beat. The Rock is my dad. Is Stringer Films photoshopping all these as we chat? I don't think so. This looks too good. I think these are just straight up real. They're straight up real. Oh my gosh. What's this guy's name? I just recognize him from you sound like a choo-choo train. What's that movie? Captain Insano? Yes. Captain Insano. Captain Insano said. Captain Insano said. What's this guy's? Paul Wright? What? The Big Show, bro. Hulk Hogan is a massive human. Yeah, thanks, Zohar. Yeah, Captain Waterboy. You gotta water it. The Big Show. Imagine Zohar, paparazzi, Stringer with The Rock. Boom. It all comes together. All right, we got to get our second wind. We're going to go for like 20 more minutes, guys. So let's do another topic. We've done movies. We've talked about movies. We've talked about actors. That's right. We got Zohar for the win. But I don't know. I think it's a big tie between Zohar and let's see, between Zohar and Stringer. So I'm going to type in focus. The keyword right now is not focus. What are you talking about? Topic. I think in my head I was like, focus, Justin. And then I said, focus. Topic. That's right. B space A is like yawn. So I don't know if B space A left and then came back, or if B space A has been here the entire time. If you've been here the entire time, B space A, I'm sorry. Because clearly this channel is not made for you. Clearly this channel is something that you just don't want to be a part of, right? So, that's right. So, Console Kits, you are missing the Mountain Dew. I am missing the Mountain Dew. I decided to just drink margaritas now. Here we go. So we got topic up, rating for it. Who is the most overrated actor? We've already covered that. It's Nicolas Cage, right? Nicolas Cage, the most overrated. No, he's the most underrated. I'm confused now. He's one of the trollers. He bullied me before, him and Terry B. Is that right? Is that right? He bullied you? All right, he won't bully you anymore, man. Wait, he says he's one of us? He's not one of us now. B space A is Mr. T from the A team. All right, so see, Justin wanted to be heavily buzzed for this stream. Let's see. We got a Darth Blacken. He said, new topic. Has anyone seen Star Wars Episode 4 revisited by Adawan? All new CGI and correction. Best re-edit of A New Hope ever done. I've seen that. It is really good. Like jaw-dropping good. Very good. Sorry, and I realized I didn't have my share screen. So he was... Do we have that? Most overrated band or singer? Alice in Chains. Margaritas make great TV. Topic. Empire or Jedi? Who? Empire or Jedi? That's a tough one, man. Let's see. Empire for the story. You know, it kind of depends. So the Jedi is... Oh my gosh. Wait, who is this? We got Stringer with... now he's going back in time to when he was a little 17-year-old drinking his Coors Light. Who's that? Who's that you with, Stringer? Blake Shelton at my house in college. There you go. Let's see. See, Don's like, Alice in Chains is my favorite. I guess Alice in Chains is okay. It's not Alice in Chains. It's... I don't know. So on the topic of... Let's actually just see real quick. Let's go to a quick custom poll. We're going to pull up a custom poll. And we're going to put in E for Empire and J for Jedi. And let's see what people say. All right. Okay. So what was a better movie? The Empire Strikes Back or The Return of the Jedi? Type in E if you think Empire is better. And type in J if you think Jedi is better. And real quick, we'll talk about why it's better versus the other. I still hold the belief that 10 years from now, we'll look back. And as of right now, many people dislike the sequel trilogy. And I'm kind of torn on it. There's parts of it I really, really like, and there's parts of it I don't like. I don't think I hate a movie. A lot of people say they didn't like 8. But there's parts of it that I did like. Wow. Everyone says Empire is great. So, when I was growing up, Empire was the one I didn't see. I saw that one last. My family kind of tricked me. Or something. Like, I didn't know. I didn't know there was a movie called Empire Strikes Back. I'd seen Return of the Jedi, and I'd seen A New Hope, and then I was playing Nintendo or something like that, and then I walked in on my family watching another Star Wars movie, and it showed the Cloud City. I remember specifically, it was like, I walked in, Leia's like, it's a trap, and I'm like, what is this? And then I see C-3PO like, all torn apart on Chewbacca's back, and I said loudly to the family, it was probably like 10, 15 people in the room, what movie is this? And everyone scoffed and looked at me and said, it's Empire Strikes Back. I'm like, what's that? Like, I was like, is this Star Wars 3? They're like, no, it's Star Wars 2. I was like, Star Wars 2 is the one with the, I was basically saying Return of the Jedi. They're like, no, it's A New Hope. It's Empire Strikes Back. Then it's Return of the Jedi. I'm like, why didn't you guys ever tell me? And so, of course, I really liked Empire after, and then it made a lot of sense, who the father was. I was like, I guess Jedi didn't make much sense to me when I was a really kid. Adam12 says 9 was not a great ending to the whole saga for sure. So I didn't really like when the very first episode 1 came out. I was really excited. My family was excited. We're all excited. We go and see it, and that's right. He's like, they didn't call it A New Hope back in the day, but we had it on VHS, and I think it said A New Hope by then. So by the time I knew what A New Hope was, I think it was called A New Hope. Anyway, what was I saying? So episode 1 was okay. Pod Racer part was too long when I was a kid. I was like 18, 19 when it came out. And then the second one, I was like, what? And then the third one was great. Episode 3. So looking back at, everyone hated Jar Jar. And I hated Jar Jar as well for a really long time. But two things turned me around. Two things turned me around on the original series. The original episode 1, 2, and 3. Let me show you. I'll show you what turned me around. And it was basically my daughter. Let's see, Jar. So my daughter watches the original Star Wars movie, and I think we started her with episode 4, episode 5, episode 6, and then we ended up giving her episode 1, and she watched episode 1, and at her age, I can't remember, was she like 8 maybe when we saw episode 1, something like that? She thought Jar Jar Binks was hilarious. We're sitting there looking at her and like, what the heck is going on? She likes Jar Jar Binks? What? What are you talking about? She can't like Jar Jar Binks. No one in the family likes the original episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. But I couldn't take that moment away from her. She loved it. Who am I as a father to take something that she loves away? So I started seeing episode 1, The Phantom Menace, through the eyes of my daughter. And then that's when I was like, I love it. This is great. And I think maybe King Kong, this is why you loved it. How old were you when you saw Jar Jar Binks? Because I think you're a little younger than me. So I was like an adult and married. And I think you were like, 15 or something. And so maybe at that age, you're like, yeah, Jar Jar Binks is great. What are you guys talking about? So that was the first thing where I was like, okay, I'm coming around to, there's a reason. Yeah, he was 8th grade. And then something was more recent. It was about 2 years ago, it looks like. 2 years ago, I saw this video. And let me know if you guys have seen this one. So here's the. This is the Jar Jar Binks guy who played the voice. And he goes on to say in this video that when people didn't like Jar Jar Binks, people tried to comfort him and say, look, they just don't like the character, Jar Jar Binks. It doesn't mean they don't like you. He's like, yeah, but I worked with George Lucas for years developing that character. The character is me. The character is my child. It's my creation that I did with George Lucas. It was always my dream to do something like that. And so, yeah, he was suicidal. Jar Jar Binks, the voice actor for Jar Jar Binks, was suicidal after episode 1 because of the backlash. And what was it? He went on a bridge and he was going to jump off. He was going to kill himself. Jar Jar Binks, the voice actor for Jar Jar Binks, was going to kill himself. And the this big gust of wind came right as he was about to do it, right? So the big gust of wind comes in, and he does a reaction to the wind. He tries not to lose his balance, right? Because he's on a bridge. I think it's like the Brooklyn Bridge, I want to say. It's some bridge. It's been 2 years since I've seen the movie or seen this video, so I may not remember all the exact details. But he's on a bridge, a famous bridge. He's on the edge. Jar Jar Binks' voice actor is about to kill himself because of the backlash of episode 1, which I played a part in. Like, I hated Jar Jar Binks. I told my family I hated Jar Jar Binks. You know, I played a 0.00001% in it. But here I am, an adult, many years later, almost 20 years later, listening to this man saying that he was suicidal because of the reaction of the community and how he poured his heart into this role. He worked with George Lucas, a famous director, and everyone just hated it. And George Lucas said, we want this to be kid-friendly. It's going to be like the new C-3PO. It's going to be the new, you're going to be a little annoying. Yeah, you're going to play this role, but kids are going to love you. And all the children grew up and hated Jar Jar Binks. He took it personally. He couldn't handle it anymore. Emotionally, he's going to kill himself. He's on the edge. He's going to jump. He's about to do it. Big gust of wind comes, and he almost falls, but he catches his balance. And then he said, wait, why did I catch my balance? If I really wanted to kill myself, wouldn't have I just allowed myself to fall? But my instincts kicked in and prevented myself from killing myself. I must actually want to live. So he comes off of, he doesn't kill himself. And from then on, he said, I gotta be positive. I gotta get past this. And his life continues. He gets married. He has a child. He tries to be happy. He dealt with that and moved on. And then some 20 years later, I want to say, 18 years maybe, he goes back to that spot where he was going to kill himself. And he has his son with him, who's now a grown-up. And he takes a picture and tweets it. And explains in the tweet, here I am at the spot where I almost killed myself because of the role of Jar Jar Binks. And if I would have done that, my son would not live. The son that I love more than anything. And he said something, kind of positive in the tweet. And that led to kind of like a viral moment where there was a spread of knowledge, spread of information across the internet. And then that landed him, a video on YouTube, where he explains it. I think there might be 2 videos. There's the video of him, I think it's this one, and he's telling the story. Yeah, it's a good, you got to check it out. If you want a good cry. You want a good cry. It got to me, because you see this man here, and you're like, that's Jar Jar Binks. I love you now. You're a good dude. You're a cool dude, man. Like, you hear his voice, and of course he's doing a voice in the in the movie, but it's the passion, right? It's the strength behind the voice, and I like Jar Jar now because now I feel like this man was willing to open himself up to the community and share the struggles that he had, and it touched me. And now I'm going to rewrite history for myself and go, you know what? I like that Jar Jar Binks. He's good. See, Soul Red's like, bring Jar Jar back for the Obi-Wan series. So, Brad O'Connor, yeah, Jar Jar sucks. Yeah. So, here's the thing. But there's a generation of people. I talked to my, great example of bullying and its impact. Yeah. So, I talked to my nephew who was, he was born in I think 97, So we took him to the theater, episode 1, and he was very impressionable. You know, like, we're like, oh, yeah, Jar Jar Binks was annoying. And I recall him being like, yeah, Jar Jar Binks, yeah, he's annoying. Yeah, he's annoying. And then episode 2 comes out. We all go see episode 2 together. We saw it at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood, right over where Zohar lives, right? We saw episode 2, the Chinese Theater, and hey, someone famous was there. Right in front of us was the Whoa brothers, you know? You guys know who that is? It was, you guys remember the movie Hot Chick? And the kid, he's like, anyway. The Lawrence brothers. So the Lawrence brothers were right in front of us at the theater. So literally the seat in front of me is the Lawrence brothers. And we're watching episode 2 of Star Wars. And my cousin's sitting a couple of chairs down, and all of a sudden it's quiet, and my cousin goes, whoa, and the audience just like doesn't say a word because everyone saw the Lawrence brothers come in, but they didn't say anything. It's like a little bit of respect. Like sometimes you'd go to places in LA and you'd kind of see people clap. They're like, hey, it's Lawrence brothers. But this one was like kind of like they came in kind of, you know, and no one really made a fuss of it. But everyone kind of knew the Lawrence brothers were there. Anyway, so that was kind of a funny moment. So my nephew, you know, he was there, saw that, and I think we saw episode 3 with him as well. We saw in Iowa, then we all flew to. I lived in California, so my brother flew out to California to come see it with us and my sister at the Chinese Theater. And then episode 3, I can't remember where we were for that. Anyway, so we asked him a couple years ago. My nephew is now all grown up, and he's like, "Dude, I always loved Jar Jar." Always loved Jar Jar, but because of everybody hating on Jar Jar, he didn't come out and say it. And so what I've seen, because of the Jar Jar moment, there's a growing number of people that are like, Jar Jar's great. And now one of the most popular YouTubers, Star Wars Theory. You guys ever watch Star Wars Theory? He's a 90s kid, you know, he's a little younger than me. And younger than probably most of you here in the chat. But he's a huge Star Wars fan. Has over a million subscribers, right? It's basically his full-time job to make videos on YouTube about Star Wars, and he's making movies and stuff like that on the side. And he's a huge Jar Jar fan. See? You have to be your own best friend. You own family to be strong in highs and low. Yeah. Gotta go a big block. Nothing beats a big block. What are you talking about? Justin, you told the story of the lack of self-confidence and devotion to self-belief. Did you see the video, What If Anakin Liked Sand? I did. That was a theory. Right? A couple months ago. That was a couple months ago, right? I used to watch him like every day. I haven't watched him every day recently, but I think I saw that one. I want to say. I really got into Star Wars Theory when... That's what it is. So, the sequel trilogy, 7, 8, and 9, right between 7 and 8, my favorite YouTuber was Star Wars Theory. And I watched Star Wars Theory like every day. And you guys probably don't know, like when I first started this Arcade1up channel, I was trying to be the Star Wars Theory of Arcade1up home arcade people. Like if you look at the style of my videos originally, they were all like voiceover work. They were all zooming in pictures. Like that's Star Wars Theory. Like I'd talk to Ralph and he's like, where do you come up with these ideas for the video? And I'm like, well, the video is my story, but it's Star Wars Theory's format. Like it's like the way he does videos, I think is a really cool way to do it. So I'll show you. Like the way to tell a story. So Star Wars Theory has a variety of like YouTube formats that he does. This is him. And I think he'll do these talking head formats. When he does the talking head formats, he's got a Star Wars Arcade1up in the background. It's kind of cool. So he'll do these things, you see, where it's buffering right now. I don't know why. But it's all pictures that are like fading into each other and zooming in, and he's got a really nice microphone, and he's trying to do, this, it's called voiceover work, right?
And George says yes, her soul has been crushed.
And so originally when I was started YouTube, I really liked that format. Telling a story, kind of like it's like meta. It's like I'm not really talking about like the news. I'm talking about the news from like a theory point of view. Like, is this what Arcade1up is doing? Not, it's very theory like. It's where I got the inspiration.
That Anakin
so here's
says
a
to her,
clip from
"Come
it.
and join me. I have all the power now. I can rule the universe, and you can do it with me." So the idea of saving her life,
it's
has become a
voiceover. It's all
minor
these
issue,
images, right?
And that's when she says, "Wait a minute, that is not what I want."
Anyway, I don't know why I brought that up. Anyway, so that's one of the reasons why I like the sequel trilogy, is because I enjoyed the time of my life during the sequel trilogy, right? So around after 7, I started watching Star Wars Theory daily. He had so much content he was putting out. So I'd watch him. And, there was theories of what episode 8 is going to be, what episode 9 was going to be. And then basically when that happened, I was still bought into Star Wars Theory, because then he was like covering other things about Star Wars. And then for someone to say like, "Oh man, I hate the sequel trilogy," in my head, I'm like, well, that was a happy time when those movies came out, and I was invested in, watching content about the sequel trilogy. It's hard for me to say that I hate those movies, because I went to those movies really excited, and I liked parts of it, and I was entertained. And I really liked episode 8. You can say what you want, you hate it, whatever. And yeah, I don't like what they did with Luke, but I did really like the fight scene where Luke wasn't really there. Like I was there sitting at it, and it shows it got me because Kylo Ren's feet kind of goes against the salt, and you see the red line. And then you see Luke's feet go across it. And I was there at the theater going, wait, why didn't it make the salt move? That doesn't make any sense. And I was sitting there puzzled, just not understanding what they were showing to me. And then it'd cut away and come back, and I'm like, what's going on? Why is that? And then there it was, the reveal that it was this force projection the entire time. I was like, oh man, that was great. They got me. He wasn't even there. Yeah, he said I missed the clues. I wasn't 100% onto the clues. I'll admit, like, it wasn't like I saw it coming. It was perfect for me because the clues were just enough to make me go, wait a second, something's not right. So the clue of he looked different, I couldn't figure it out. Looking back, all of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, he's 10 years younger, right? Like all of a sudden his beard's like really trimmed up. So what, he took a hot shower before he flew? I didn't catch that, but I looked at him. I was like, something's different about him. But I couldn't place it. And then the salt, I couldn't place it. And then the reveal was like, oh, of course. He's not even there, because they've been leading up to this for 2 movies, this idea of force projection. And then this earlier in the movie, like the water that Kylo Ren had, because Rey was on, Octu, and it was raining there. And so he felt the rain. They were showing that there could be this like force projection that's really far away. And then that's the big epic scene at the end that like, oh, Luke defeated, he's actually so powerful that he defeated Kylo Ren without actually being there. And I thought that was cool. And then I got really confused when he disappeared. I was like, wait, he died? What? Because it didn't look like he was in enough anguish to be dying. So it was this weird quiet scene where he has his hand on the rock and he's looking at the horizon. And I'm like, what is he doing? And then he sits up there and then he vanishes. And I'm like, wait, did they just kill him off? And I think I would have went for it a little bit more. I think I needed it just a spoon-fed just a little bit more. Like him, like, coughing or something. Something to be like, he's dying. Like, or something to be like, there's no way he's not powerful enough. Something like that would kill him. And there was kind of echoes of that earlier, because there was a conversation. It couldn't be this or that person because, anyway. And I know a lot of people, they have this like Pontiac Joe. They trashed Luke, waste of a good character. And I think everyone agrees that there was so much they could have done with episode 8 that they didn't do. That would have been so much better for that movie. I think many people agree with that. And I wish it was better. It wasn't. I think I had this, it's kind of like this idea that, and I've had this idea for a couple of years and I keep on remembering it. And it's this idea of there's certain things that you can complain about, but you have no control over. Yeah, it was lazy writing. Yeah, and this is the thing. Like, I can't control that. So why be bothered with things that you can't control? At work, I do that all the time. Like, and I advise other people to do that. Like, there's changes that come in to whatever we're doing, and we have the ability to say, hey, it could be implemented this way or implemented that way. But there's just, if you disagree with something and it's not within your power to, why are you complaining about it? Like, you have complaining about something that you have no control over has no value, because what, you're just venting for the point of venting? Like, focus on the thing that you have control over that's bothering you, and then you're going to get a return on that investment. And so when it comes to movies I don't like, it's like I can't control it. My grandfather was always like that as well. I remember being super young, going over to my grandpa's house, and he would have this common joke that he would say, and it was grandma would say, why did he do that? They're watching AMC. My grandparents only had one channel. Basically, they had all the cable channels. The only thing they ever watched was the AMC, American Movie Classic. They're watching all these old movies, right? Just like us. We're watching, like, Back to the Future, retro movies. Like, for me, my family, we watch a lot of retro movies, actually. And so I guess I'm just like my grandfather, huh? So it's the 80s, and he's watching movies from the 50s and 60s, right? And grandma says, why did he do that? And my grandpa says, because it was in the script. You'd always, like, we'd hear it all the time. The next day, he's like, oh my gosh, what happened? Why did he do that? It was in the script. And I think my grandpa was right. It's like, movies play out the way they play out because they're in the script. And yeah, that is true. The first episode 7 set up a great storyline for all 3. And then it was kind of like a bait and switch, or episode 8 kind of just took a, but that's kind of the director's style, right? It's that whole thing where he does the unexpected. All right, guys. Well, if you enjoyed this type of content and would like me to do this every now and then because you enjoy the chat and chill format, hit that like button right now, because if we can get some good likes on this video, I'll repeat this type of content. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate everyone just chilling with me. Zohar's got one last message. He says, do you want me to read this? Zohar? If you want, kind of dark, but if you want. He says, you're talking about serenity prayer, common prayer in AA meetings. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Yeah, I think it's the get drunk and chat stream, LOL. Mike, always appreciate you and your time with us. Justin, thank you. I really appreciate you guys. It's fun to have a cool community of people to jump on a stream and chat with for 2 hours. I think we've said enough tonight. You can tell that that I need to end the stream because it's getting itchy. The voice is getting itchy. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Have a good weekend. I think we'll probably do looser format is good. Love it. Thanks. I think we're doing a stream. Ralph and I are probably going to do a midday stream. I think a lot of people have tomorrow off. I hope you have tomorrow off. If you have some time off, that would be really cool. Come hang out with us. Whine about movies. Come hang out with us on the One Up Weekly tomorrow. We're going to do something fun. Yeah, Monday. We're going to do something Monday. Ralph and I were talking about. I think we're going to talk about Ralph's story. Chill. We may play some video games. We had a couple ideas of what we could do. And I'm going to go hang out with the family. You guys have a good one. Take care.